All right, Samori Benjamin here at Yankee Stadium before Game 1 of the American League Division Series, here with Kansas City Royals first base coach Damon Holljns, former major leaguer. Damon, thank you for joining me before this game.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Samari.
Yeah, and it's great meeting you. And you're from the Oakland area, right?
Vallejo, California, to be exact.
Okay, so we're here, big game, baseball. Clearly, it was in your blood from the time you were a kid. How did you get into the game growing up?
I've been in the game forever. I played in the neighborhood before my mother signed me up for Little League. Once I got signed up for Little League, I don't think I've missed a summer yet, but like you said, it's been in my blood since I came out of the womb, and just a blessing to be here in New York in the playoffs right now, and I couldn't be thankful and more appreciative of the Royals and the opportunities that they've given me, and yeah, man, just a blessing to be here in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, it's always exciting to be here for the playoffs, start the playoffs, the first game. You can feel the energy in the air, and you all won the past series against Baltimore. You beat them in 2 games. So how were you all able to go into Baltimore, a team that was very good last year and this year, and knock them out?
I think just being ourselves. Obviously a tough team over there. I knew we knew it was going to be a hectic environment. Obviously the guys we have on the field, with the pitching from the defense to the players we have going up to bat. We all came together, but obviously it was a team effort. Bobby Witt got a couple big hits for us, a couple big stolen bases by Michael. The way we've been playing all year, that's the way we did it.
Yeah, you all are a team that no one expected you all to be here right now. So how do you think that this team was able to go from being a team with a lot of young guys, a team that has not been in the playoffs in a long time, has not had many winning seasons, and are here right now in the playoffs?
I think simply just believing in ourselves. The only guys that matter are the guys in that clubhouse, our coaching staff, and we come out and we play for each other, and I think that's the way it's always been. But it doesn't matter. You hear all the chatter, but when it comes down to it, we come out, we play Royal brand of baseball, and I think we play for each other. That's all I can say.
So being from the Oakland area, you were a little too young to really experience their dynasty from 72 through 74, but when they won, came around with the Back Brothers and those guys, Ricky Henderson,
yeah.
That was right in your warehouse growing up, so I'm sure you have a lot of memories of that and were inspired by that. So what was that like for you?
Unbelievable. Just being a fan of the game. Obviously, my favorite player, Ricky Henderson. Being in the Bay Area, watching some of those teams. That being my childhood stadium to go to as a kid when we were privileged enough to go to a game. We didn't go to a lot, but the Coliseum was definitely the stadium we went to. And just a lot of great players, a lot of great history. The culture of the Oakland A's have been around forever if you're a Bay Area native. So tough to see them leave, but I definitely get it.
Yeah. Did you play any other sports growing up?
I played a little bit I played everything. We were that generation that played football, basketball, soccer. We made up games. If it was raining, we played in the room. We broke stuff in the house. So we didn't have none of the technology that they have out now. We didn't have none of the social media that they have out now. So we played strikeout. We played, like I said, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. It was a great community to grow up in back then.
So now, a lot of black neighborhoods, you don't see as much interest with the youth for baseball. How many of your black peers went into the game when you were coming up in the Oakland area, Bay Area?
The whole community, my whole city of Vallejo was playing baseball, playing football, playing everything that you can imagine. Like I said, such a great community. I know growing up, if my mother couldn't get me to practice, the coach came and picked me up. If the coach couldn't get me, I was hopping in with one of my friends if I wasn't over at their house. And it was vice versa. My mom, a lot of people piled in our car. We took them to practice, so it was a great community. And very, very, humble to be from there and call that home,
Did you have any basketball or football heroes as a kid?
No, I played football, but I really didn't like it. I was nicked up all the time, so I obviously gravitated more to baseball, and thank God I did.
You were very good in high school. You got drafted out of high school. So what do you remember your high school years being like and just the competition in the Bay Area at that time?
Wow, we just had some good teams I played on, but we also had some great competition. I mean, I was never the best on my team. It was always other guys. Chris Smith, Ivory Jones is of the world. My best friend, Jason Shelley, who also had a football scholarship. He got drafted by Atlanta, but he also had a football scholarship to go play for the University of Washington. But I mean, so much competition. That's why I learned the game. That's where we learned how to compete, and that city put me on the map.
Did any of those guys get drafted and play pro ball?
All those guys got drafted. They all played pro ball. They all had a chance to make it to the big league. Certain things happen. We know it's a competitive sport, but all of those guys played pro ball. Yeah, for sure.
What position did you play mainly coming up?
Mostly right field. I had a great arm, and I probably could have played center. When I got drafted, I played more center, but I played right field. Yeah, we may have had another stud in center field as I think about it. There's a few different guys, but right field was a position I throw left-handed, bat right-handed, so that kind of limited me. We had a superstar at first base, Randy Jackson, who was a home run hitter. But yeah, man, it's just great times back then.
You get drafted in '92 at a high school by the Atlanta Braves, right in the 4th round.
Yeah.
So the Braves at that time were a really good team. When I think about the Braves, I think about how many black ball players they had on those Braves teams. There were so many guys, so many outfielders too. Even Coach Prime was on those Braves teams. So, but what was it like for you just being drafted in the 4th round in '92 by the Braves?
I was just ecstatic just to be drafted. But then when I got there, seeing all the great players from David Justice to Marquise Grissom, I mean, it was just inspiring, you know, to try to follow in those guys' footsteps. I mean, they started that run of winning the division. I think it was in '92, the year 91. But yeah, as I was drafted and just being a part of the organization, then it was so inspiring to try to, you know, get to the major leagues. And as I climbed through the minor leagues, it was definitely something that, you know, you looked up to those guys and you want to be around those guys, and you really wanted to be a part of the big league team. And it was just inspiring from what I remember.
The minor leagues is a grind. So you were in the minor leagues for about 6 years, I think, before you made your debut. So what was the minor leagues like for you?
It was tough. You know, I mean, I don't know if I can explain it, but a lot of bus rides, a lot of, you know, hot summers, a lot of work, obviously, a lot of going into small cities that you've never been to before. But all those things shaped you as far as character, as far as appreciation, I think, for the most part, especially getting to this level. Coming here like Yankee Stadium, I mean, you're in a lot of little small neighboring cities, and you just put your head down and you go to work, and once again, just keep the dream alive, and you just hope and pray to stay healthy and hope and pray to get the call one day. And I think that's what we were all doing.
What do you remember it being like when you did get the call in '98 for the Braves?
All I remember is calling my mother and just letting her know that I got the call, and just listening to her voice over the phone, being super nervous. The whole thing was a surreal moment, and it's the type of stuff you dream of. It's the type of stuff when I was a minor league coach, I wanted all the guys to experience. So it was just a surreal moment. Obviously, childhood dream, being able to play this game professionally and play it at a high level, and now being here a coach, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just a true blessing.
And you played in Tampa Bay as well, right?
Yeah.
You played with Carl Crawford a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And your manager was Lou Piniella?
Yeah.
What was it like just playing for Lou and playing with Crawford and all that?
First of all, Carl was he was a great person, but he was a great athlete. You didn't see too many guys that size. I think he was 6'2", that fast, can run, can hit for power, can do anything. But the thing that stood out to me was his speed, watching him run triples, watching him score from second, watching him go first to third or home to second, home to third. It was incredible. And then Lou Piniella was a blessing to play for. Former player, Yankee great, just picking his head on the game, and just being in the clubhouse with those guys definitely shaped me in a way to where, definitely use those experiences to help our guys now.
Was Don Zimmer on the coaching staff?
Zim was on the coaching staff. He didn't say much, but his presence was felt every time we would pop out early for stretch, and always pick his head, and he always shared nuggets with us to where we can, like I said, use them, and still they'll go on forever.
What would you say was the highlight of your major league career? Your best memory?
Probably going home to Oakland Coliseum, playing in that stadium, hitting a home run with the family and friends there. That jumps out to me, like just growing up in the area and being able to go home and play well. A teammate of mine back then told me that your family just want to see you. It doesn't matter what you do. I was kind of not agreeing with him on that. It does matter, but at the same time, he kind of he took some of the pressure off of me, just letting me know that, you know what, they just want to see you in your element. They're all just happy for you. So that was a dream come true for me. And then to hit a home run was amazing.
That's cool. So now you played in Japan as well, right?
Correct.
Now, how was that experience for you?
Great. I mean, obviously it was a culture shock for the first 2 months, but Yomiuri Giants, one of the most popular teams over there. It was a great experience. Great teammates, great coaching staff. Just learning the Japanese culture was awesome, and like I said, definitely took a lot of that experience and saved it. And once again, whenever I can pull it out, I'll use anything I can to get these guys to get over the hump, and that's what we do as coaches.
How did you get into coaching?
Just knowing these guys in the front office here, going back with them in my playing career. A lot of the guys was with Atlanta. Just keeping in touch with him, and thank God our president now, JJ Piccolo, gave him a call back in 2010, and I was didn't really know what I wanted to do, and he said, look, this is what we got. It was a hitting coach job down at the lower levels, and I was fortunate to take that job and blessed to take that job and get in the organization, learn from these great men from a leadership standpoint. Learning how to be a better person, and then the baseball stuff was second. So it was a blessing to be here with these guys.
And you were always with the Royals in the minor league system before you got here?
I played 1 year in AAA here in Omaha once I got back from Japan, but that was my first time in the organization. And then I started here as a coach in 2010, and we hadn't looked back.
And you made your debut with the Royals big league team in 2020, right?
Yeah, in the year of COVID for the great Rusty Kuntz, who's like a mentor and father figure for me. I owe him almost my whole coaching career. If it wasn't for guys like Rusty Kuntz, I don't know where I would be, but hats off to Rusty, man. Such a great guy, always positive, still positive, and just good to have him on my side.
You were on the coaching staff with Terry Bradshaw, right?
Correct.
Yeah, Terry Bradshaw, so I went to he's the first player from my school, our school, to make it to the major leagues. That's Norfolk State University, HBCU.
Wow.
I actually met him this year for the first time, interviewed him. Yeah, and so the first player from Norfolk State to make the major leagues, and there's been one other since him, so shout out to him, yeah. Shout
out to TB, great man, great family man. TB is like a brother to me, always been.
Great. So what was it like your first year with the big league team was 2020? So what was it like for you just to be able to finally, after 10 years in the minor leagues coaching, getting up here?
It was awesome. I mean, I think it was different because it was the COVID year. So I mean, we went through a lot with the testing and just the playing in the stadiums with no fans. But at the end of the day, it was baseball, and my whole thing.
Yeah, so what's it been like just to be a part of this coaching staff here with the Royals, and exciting times now starting this playoff series?
Once again, a blessing. This is who I started my coaching career with. Like I said, these guys have, I've become a man in this organization. I've learned better leadership. I've become a better father, a better husband, and I think those are the things, before even baseball starts, that we learn from Dayton Moore and on to JJ Piccolo and the rest of the front office staff. So definitely a blessing to be with these guys, and we're just battling every day, trying to continue our season and fight out here as brothers. And regardless of what happened, we're going to push forward. We're going to continue to get better.
Okay, last two for you. Who was the most talented player that you've ever played with?
Carl got to be up there. Obviously, my little big brother CC, who's I think he lives here now. But so many players, man. I mean, a lot of talent. Obviously, it takes a lot to play at this level, but those guys stick out. Everybody's talented at this level. As I start to think about guys that played at this level, you don't just get here by just being average. You have to be above average in everything. So yeah.
That's right. You and CC are from the same area. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. CC is the man. Do you know Jimmy Rollins at all?
Yeah, I know J-Ro. Not as well as CC. Me and CC, obviously, Vallejo natives.
Right. Okay. Last one for you. as a coach, who's the most talented player that you've had the chance to coach?
Well, obviously we got Mr. Bobby Witt Jr. I mean, that's, hands down one of the best players in the game, but I mean, even a better person than he is baseball player. So, but, all these guys, like I said, above average guys and just, looking to get better. And, he's one of the leaders in the clubhouse, and we're going to go as far as him and Salvi take us.
All right, folks, former major leaguer, now Kansas City Royals first base coach, Damon Holljns. Damon, man, good luck, and thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, folks, we're back.
Thank you. Yep.